After clicking the wildcard button last week in game week 32, I do have my bench boost active for game week 33. So in this video, I'm going to be talking you through how my team looks and also how it performed in game week 32, and also talking through some injury news such as Nico O'Reilly being possibly out and injured. Okay, so taking a quick look at my game week 32 team and how I performed. Now, it was a good week, really. I mean, I went from 13k to in the top 9k, near an 8.5k. So it's a pretty good near 5k jump. So it's a good week. It's a big green arrow, and I think that's mainly down to Jarrod Bowen. If I didn't take a punt on Jarrod Bowen on my wildcard, the wildcard would have been an absolute disaster, and I would have had a Calvert-Lewin. So it would have been awful. So Jarrod Bowen really did save me that. Part of me did want to go for Thiago as well instead of João Pedro, but I only had 2 transfers, so I couldn't really book in 2 transfers, so it was kind of one or the other. I picked Bowen, did outscore him, but only by 1 point, unfortunately. I was hoping that was going to be more. But I mean, yeah, no, you really can't complain. The only issue is my original team did outscore it by, I think, it was 10 to 20 points. It was something ridiculous. I think it could even be more. So the issue is with it, I know what I could have had. However, with this team, I'm just praying that it's going to make up the points. With my old team, would have had double Arsenal defence, wouldn't have had the Brighton players, so that already takes people out. Would have had Malik Chow. However, I would have had Nordi Mukiele, but it doesn't even matter anymore because Nico O'Reilly made up them points. Bruno Fernandes would have had him captained either way. Antoine Semenyo wouldn't have been there. In place for him would have been Dewsbury Hall, so that's another 9 points. Again, Elliot Anderson, I'm pretty sure he got 4. No, yeah, he would have got 4, so I would have had them. Brian and Burmo did get sat on the bench, so to be fair, the more I look at this, I actually think wildcard was a good play. Earlier on in the week, before the O'Reilly goal, I was getting a bit worried after seeing that Mukiele goal and seeing it all happen, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty happy I hit the wildcard button. I was happy to finally own Antoine Semenyo and João Pedro together. I've not owned them together the whole season. Well, no, I have when Semenyo was at Bournemouth, but it's the first time owning him at City. Obviously, I think you just kind of have to own him. I mean, I'm looking at it now. Semenyo is 56.7% selected. If you go against him, you're taking a giant risk. Again, with João Pedro, 50.5. Is it really worth it? Again, they both have double game weeks as well. If I went for a Ryan Cherky over a Semenyo, it would have worked this week. But is it going to keep working? I highly doubt it, because he does just look really good. But yeah, the one time I own them, they do blank. Cole Palmer hitting DEFCON. It's not ideal for 10.5 million, but to be honest, I will take it. Hinchelwood, again, took a punt on him over Gross because I couldn't afford Gross if I went with Bowen. There is a world where I do Hinchelwood to Gross this week because I'm doing Bowen to Calvert-Lewin, definitely. I could do Hinchelwood to Gross, I just don't think it's really worth it. I think I'm just going to stick it out with Hinchelwood and hope he plays both games. Haaland, 2-pointer. Again, in my other team, instead of João Pedro, I would have had Thiago. So now I actually look at it, my other team only outscored it by a tiny bit. At one point, it was outscoring it by like 38 points, which was just ridiculous. It would have been a very long week. But yeah, that Nico O'Reilly, just 14-pointer, really brought it back because I wouldn't have owned him. I guess the only thing to say is I would have owned Bowen either way because it would have been Ekatike to Bowen. But then again, now look where my team would be now. Now for the next week, as you're going to see in a minute, my team is very good and I'm very excited. Also, by the way, the only reason Bruno Fernandes and Carl Darlow's points aren't on here, is because I did film this before. Well, I did make these graphics before the United game was played. Obviously, as we all know, we unfortunately lost, but Bruno did get an assist. Very annoying, the loss, but we take the assist FPL-wise, an 8-pointer. Luckily, again, the guy never blanks. It's only a 4-pointer, 8 if you had him captain, but he just does not blank. But yeah, that's the only reason the scores aren't on there, because I made the graphics before. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes did get 8 points, Carl Darlow did get 4. So for the double game week, it's looking very promising. Also, just to apologise, I did forget to put my points for that week on that slide. I've accidentally put the overall points on. It's all going wrong really with these slides. But yeah, on the last one, it was meant to say I did get 67 points for the week. So yeah, again, big green arrow. I think it was a green arrow by a margin of about 8 or 9 points. So again, very good. But anyway, getting onto the team for this week, as you can see, lining up, I've just left the bench the exact same. I should probably put Bruno and Gabriel on it to not fraud myself some points. But Is there a world where I sell Bruno Fernandes for a week? There could be, but I highly, highly doubt Bruno Fernandes is going anywhere. There is a higher chance of me selling Gabriel for a week to probably a Mark Cucurella. But again, it all depends on O'Reilly being out. This is the issue. He's not yellow flagged on here, as I've already said about 300 times. I don't know what was going through my head making these graphics. I've clearly messed up quite a bit, but yeah, Nico O'Reilly is yellow flagged. I don't think he'll be out, personally. From what I saw on against Chelsea, it looked more of a precautionary thing, and it looked more of he looked fine. He needed to come off. If he is out, I feel like it's got to be Nico O'Reilly to Mark Gahey, and I feel like there's no other way to do it, just because Mark Gahey just does look really, really good. I mean, since when did he take it on the half term and bang it bottom left? I've never seen him do that in my life. But yeah, I mean, his points tally for the season is just ridiculous anyway. No one ever expected it. And I know a lot of my mini-league rivals have owned him the whole season, which has really, really irritated me because I've not owned him once. So you can imagine how many points I've lost off that, especially when some of them own O'Reilly and Mark Gahey. So yeah, that's been fun. But no, yeah, that's definitely the obvious transfer. Nico O'Reilly. I do have 0.1 mil in the bank, so I can afford that at the time of recording. But yeah, if not, as you can see, I've already put him in the team. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be coming in for Jared Bowen. And why? Of course, I can afford it because I love Calvert-Lewin. I love loads of money in the bank. What am I even on about? But it's fine. Calvert-Lewin's coming in. Again, there is a world where I switch out Hinchelwood and bring in Welbeck, but I feel like I'd rather the penalty taker with Wolves at home. I mean, you've got Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, take him out, Burnley at home, and then Tottenham away, then Brighton at home, West Ham away. I mean, the run is absolutely ridiculous. Leeds realistically are staying in the Premier League now. I highly, highly doubt they're going to go down now. So a striker who's got them games, potentially a game to send Tottenham down, I think I want to bank on him. He's on penalties at the moment, we think, so I just think he's a pretty good player. And for only 5.6 mil, you can definitely bench him and move to a 5 in midfield when you really want. Again, saying that though, I genuinely think he's going to play every game till the end of the season. I mean, as I've just said, he's got a very, very good fixture versus relegation team. Again, Bournemouth, good team, but you wouldn't be surprised if he got something. Burnley, relegation team. Tottenham, as weird as it is to say, relegation team. Brighton, decent team, but it's at home. They're good at Ellen Road. West Ham, relegation team. So in that run of the last 7 weeks, he has he has 4 relegation teams out of 7 games. So I would definitely be very, very happy to bank on Calvert-Lewin. But yeah, apart from that, that's the team. Again, as I said, chance we take Gabriel out, but I think it's a pretty low chance because I do want to be able to roll some transfers through. And taking Gabriel out for a Cucurella, just to put him straight back in, does seem like a bit of a waste when you are in need of transfers, when you do need to be keeping transfers. But yeah, overall, I do think the team looks really, really nice. Hopefully, we can make up a lot of points that we did lose in last. Well, saying that, I've been through it. We didn't even lose that many points. So yeah, hopefully with the bench boost this week, it can be a successful one. I mean, realistically, you're looking at, with Senesi and Hill, this is my bench at the moment. So again, as I said, I should probably be putting Bruno and Gabriel on it to not fraud it. So if we put Tavernier and Senesi into the team, the bench would be Carl Darlow, James Hill, Bruno Fernandes and Gabriel. Realistically, from Darlow, you're looking at a minimum of 4 points. I'd be hoping for a clean sheet versus Wolves, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Again, probably going to get some saves points. You're looking at probably minimum 5 there. Might concede a few goals, maybe minimum 4 if he has a really bad run. But I can see a clean sheet versus Wolves. I hope there's a clean sheet versus Wolves. That would be very, very nice to get some guaranteed points. James Hill, I think you're looking at DEFCON in both the games. Maybe a yellow card. I think you're looking, again, minimum 5 points. You'd hope for at least a clean sheet, maybe against Leeds, maybe against Newcastle. If Bournemouth get one clean sheet, you're in there. Again, with Brighton, they get one clean sheet, you're in there. So if Bournemouth get a clean sheet, you're looking at probably, 10 or above points for Hill and Senesi. Bruno Fernandes, you don't really know. I'd say he's likely to get an assist. Maybe, I'd say 4 or 5 points for him. Gabriel, Man City away, probably a 2 point and maybe 3 or 4 with DEFCON. So you're not looking at much from him. But is it really worth selling him to a Cucurella when he might go and get 3 points? I mean, we know Chelsea's defence isn't very good. I did like where he was playing last game. You know, he got up, he scored a goal, it was ruled offside. Playing really, really attacking, but yeah, I don't know if I'm willing to take that punt with only 2 free transfers. That's kind of the issue with me. I mean, if I had 4, even 3 transfers, I would definitely take the punt. However, just knowing I've already booked in a move for Jared Bowen to Calvert-Lewin, it's kind of putting me off. And knowing that O'Reilly could be out as well, I might not be able to anyway. So Gabriel might have to stay in the team. And I absolutely hate booking in transfers. So if I can keep him in the team, that would be very, very nice. But yeah, that is it for now. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I do think the team looks very, very nice. Hopefully we can get a lot of points in Bench Boost Game Week 33. I will see you all in the next video.